So what do you guys want to do for the second half? Can hang out.
Tebow.
God, we're not talking about that guy. Stand it.
If he went to Miami, you'd be talking about him every week.
You know what's funny is I talk to people out Florida. They can't stand him either. They can't stand him.
Why?
Why do they dislike him?
Why?
I understand criticizing his football skills.
I saw what Jake Plummer
Jake Plummer hit it on the head, I thought. Jake Plummer hit it on the head. I think a lot of people, no one dislikes the guy. No one dislikes him at all. But what Jake Plummer said, and I hope we can pull it up. Someone can pull it up because I don't want to butcher the quote. But it went something like, Jake Plummer said, I'll start liking Tebow a lot more when he starts realizing we all know that he loves God as much as we think he does.
Well, he said, if I said every time at a press conference, first I want to start by saying I love my wife, that after a while that everyone would and
Tebow's not the first guy to do that, though. It's just he's such a high profile
But do you think
guy.
he's phony?
I think he comes off as it.
But do you think he's
I
phony?
think he comes off as it.
Well,
No, I don't
the
think
only
he's
thing
phony.
is, he's been like that since his first day at Florida. So I don't know how that's
what's phony
when
about
you
that?
carry it into this. And, you know, if people are watching the game right now, you want your son to emulate a guy like Tim Tebow or some of the other clowns in the NFL. And that's the truth.
I just think it's I think especially when it comes to matters of faith, that when somebody puts it so out like that, I think they make themselves polarized.
But how much of that is on the media? He scores and goes to the sideline, and everybody, focuses
zooms in on
Tebow.
the Tebow.
Yeah, I mean, to me, if that offend is not the
same
right
thing
word,
about
but if that
Stevie Johnson, though, well, it's all the media blowing it up. It was really a good touchdown
I hate
dance.
the media.
I just think
It was really a good touchdown
like
dance.
if that
They demonized him for shooting himself in
if
the
that
leg.
bothers you, I don't know. I mean, I think that's more about you than him. I mean, he is who he is. He's not going to change himself.
Right.
I mean, I've seen ball players in all sports, do a little cross. If they hit a home run,
That's
they
not what
cross
we're
home
talking
plate.
about, though. We're talking about the fact that he's just like, and like I said, Jake Plummer hit him on the head, and I think that's how a lot of people feel. Once he realizes that everyone understands where he's coming from, and he is willing to accept it, then I think everyone will like him a lot more.
Just shut up finally, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't think he
we
cares.
get it.
I don't think
we
he
get
cares
it. You
because
love Jesus. We get it.
Right,
Okay,
but I don't think he
let's move
cares
on.
because his
So
mission in life.
Satanic ritual tonight, Eric?
But that's his mission in life. Is he wants to
Spread the gospel.
Honestly,
He wants to spread the good word.
Yes, absolutely. Have you heard the good news?
Have you heard the good news of Jesus Christ? Tim Tebow.
Wow,
Tim
you
Tebow would
guys
like
are
to talk to
brutal,
you.
man.
No, but I don't have a problem with it. Honestly, I think it's great. It certainly seems like, hey, he may not be a good quarterback. I've never seen a team buy into a bad quarterback more than the Broncos are buying into Tim Tebow.
Completely bought into him.
He may not be able to throw a spiral,
I
but
hope
I'll
they
take
give him
those
a 7-year
wins.
deal. I really do.
I tell you,
I
you
hope they
get to
give
the
him a
point where you
7-year
start
deal.
rooting for the guy. I
Hell
mean,
yeah, I'm rooting for him.
I am too. I watched that game the other day. I
Absolutely.
said, pull it out.
Hallelujah!
Did you guys
Go
see?
on, brother.
Did you guys see Shannon Sharp's interview with him
Yeah,
pregame?
I thought it was great.
I didn't see it, but I heard some of the excerpts of it, and I was like, "Wow, that's pretty."
It was direct and to the point.
Yeah, it was. He told him flat out, "This offense is stunning your growth as a quarterback," and he's right. It is. It is. Unless they're going to completely go to this, which it doesn't seem like Elway's going to allow that. Then it is stunning.
I think Elway's been totally unfair to the guy.
Absolutely, I think
Elway's
that.
been a jerk to him.
I would absolutely.
Oh, wait.
reaction-
The third down percentage is not good enough to win.
How
guys.
about Elway's reaction when he runs the ball into the end zone against the Jets? They flash up to the booth.
And he's like,
Elway's like the owner in Major League.
Yeah.
It's like every guy that didn't win
Can
the
you
Oscar.
believe this
It's like if
guy?
you didn't win the Oscar. Oh, yeah, really good for you. I'm really happy you won because you're a much better actor than me.
Did we say it on there? It's like when Charlie Sheen comes out to Wild Thing, and she's like, "I hate this."
Winning.
That was the most uncomfortable cutaway to an owner I've ever seen.
Yeah, he's
Or
like,
or
"Great,
after you win the
now I got
fourth
the
game and he
16th
goes
pick
for
instead of
some-
Well,
quarterback.
and he made a point yesterday when he went out to the sideline during the fourth quarter when they kicked that game-winning field goal. He got his chiclets out there, and he was like over the top, like he had won Publishers Clearinghouse.
Someone give him a sugar cube. Here, John, take that or an apple and root for your quarterback for a change. You just won 5 games or whatever.
I know he doesn't fit the mold, but, I mean, can't you change the mold? for some guys to fit him. In other words, he's not a standard drop back passer.
Sure.
He never will be. But can't you turn your offense, and aren't they doing that?
I think Steve Young said it best. I mean, they're doing well right now, but is this a sustainable offense and can go to the playoffs and go deep? No.
You don't think so?
No. You gotta.
I think that's Elway's point. I think he's got to learn how to be more political about it, and I think he's got to learn that he can't just be brash and, Denver's not just going to love you because you're John Elway. You got to make good decisions, and but I think that's the point he's getting to with the third down percentage and everything else is that, hey, we're not here to win some games, and this is great. This is a great ride, but is this the path we're going to take to win a championship? What do you do with them?
But to me, maybe on an individual team basis, you can prove that you can win without your quarterback having to even go out there and do a whole lot. That's what you guys are going to have to do the rest of the way.
I was going to say, we're going to find out with the Atlanta Falcons this week.
Well, I mean, here's my thing.
Can TJ Yates do the zone read?
Why not? No, here's my thing with Tim Tebow is that why can't you have him do a little bit of everything? Why can't you play some special teams, play some receiver, do that kind of stuff, and then on 3rd and 2, he's the quarterback and he runs wildcat.
Basically, run wildcat.
He does wildcat, but the thing is he's so much more than just like that common NFL wildcat because he can throw it 100 times better than your average wildcat. Your average Ronnie Brown.
But what do you do when you put him in there and said, go out there and compete, and all the guy has done is gone out and compete and won games for you? I mean, the final results are what matters.
You know what's sad is that the Denver defense and special teams are getting no credit.
They're sick. Well,
their defense has been fantastic.
They're starting to get
fantastic.
It's getting there.
And my thing is, it's like if this defense would have played, and I know you can say what if this and what if that. I'm just saying that if the same statistics were given to Kyle Orton, don't you think he would be winning these games?
If their defense was helping him out that much?
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, these guys there's pick sixes. They're holding. No one's. I mean, the thing is Denver in this winning streak, every game they won, they haven't scored higher than, except the Oakland game.
Well, Denver's defense wasn't terrible the first 4 weeks of the season, though, and Orton was awful, and they were losing.
Well,
but they weren't as good as they are right now.
Right, they are playing really well.
There's a big difference between giving up 24 games and giving up 17
how much of that, though, is, I mean, when Orton's turning the ball over,
it hurts.
Your defense is on the field more, you're going to be worn
Absolutely.
down. And it seems to me with Tebow running that running attack, other defenses are wearing down in the fourth quarter. I know he's leading these fourth quarter game-winning drives.
He doesn't turn the ball over.
Yeah.
They're wearing out defenses, too. And you're right. He doesn't turn the ball over. You can have your third down percentage, your completion percentage.
It was
if
worth
the guy
the price
doesn't
of
turn it
admission,
over,
though,
and they
see
still
Rex
move
Ryan's face on the sideline when he went 95 yards. Him walking on the sideline going.
Willis McGahee's having a heck of a resurgence this year too.
And he's a perfect guy. It'd be interesting to see because here's the thing: is Denver has to make a decision. They have to make a decision because if you're going to go with this, at least in the short term, and you can go with this and then say, hey, you know what, it didn't work out and switch because you're still going to stockpile yourself with good athletes.
But I think they made their decision. After winning the fourth game and Elway comes out and goes, we still haven't found our quarterback, that tells me they've made their decision.
He may have made a decision, but I don't know if you heard what Pat Bowlen had to say.
Yeah.
Pat Bowlen is very pro Tebow because the guy's a gold mine.
Yeah.
The guy's a gold. I mean, you in the city of Denver.
How long does that last? I mean, if they end up next year 8-8, I think you can sell all the jerseys you want, but you're not going to keep a guy who's not winning.
They are winning now.
They are right now, right?
My guess is they're probably going to end up 8-8, 9-7. They're going to be in it the whole way.
And the question is,
Robert, you're not being cynical and thinking that the owner's only worried about money, are you?
No, I'm just saying at some point it's going to come down to wins and losses. I mean, the Texans could have drafted Vince Young way back when. They would have sold a lot of jerseys, made a lot of money. But if he didn't perform, it wasn't going to mean anything other than some extra money in the owner's pockets. People would have been dissatisfied with him. And the question for me is how much do the Broncos – I mean, they've put this offense in on the fly. If you have an entire offseason and you actually embrace these out-of-the-box concepts –
But he's still going to be the guy they inherited. They didn't draft him.
I think the problem is you have to have a second guy that can also run it. Because if he goes down, and even though he's a big guy, and I think some guys are olaying him a little bit, not wanting to get hit. You almost have to have a second guy that can run it also if he goes down during a game, don't you?
That's what I'm saying. You got to buy into it. Are you going to buy into it or not? You got to buy into it. If you're going to buy into it, then you got to go get a second quarterback like him. You got to start stockpiling your defense, because I don't care what you say, you're not going to put up more than the mid-20s every week. So you're going to have a great defense to keep on staying. It's like Nebraska. Right. You know, you keep getting a 3rd and 10. There's not a good, you know, when they're 3rd and short and they're keeping the score down, they win a lot of games.
Here's how it's going to play out. If they probably won't make the playoffs. I mean, they might be a wild card. I think they're competing with the Jets in Cincinnati, but I don't think they make it. And then next year, the Denver drafts a quarterback, and they say, "Oh, it's Tebow's our starter, but it's competition," and then they phase him out during preseason.
But like Matt's saying,
how do you
it's hard to phase him out. It's hard
right.
to phase him out if he goes. Well, how many games is he going to get in? 10.
Yeah.
By the end of it, probably about 10, right?
He's,
At least.
11. They were 1 and 4.
They have 5 left, and he's won 4 out of 5 starts.
Yeah.
4 to 5 starts with 5 left to play, so he's going to have 10 starts, right?
Right. And their schedule is not tough for the rest of the way.
They still got Chicago. They still got New England.
But
Okay. One of those is Caleb Haney, though, and
the other one is look at New England's record in Mile High
Yeah.
Stadium. They're like 2-40 or something. They don't play well at Mile High.
I think I think New England's going to be a big test from the sense of if you play well against New England, you'll hold them to 24 points. For Denver right now, that's a lot of points to score.
Right.
So I mean that'll be a big test. That'll be a big test, I think.
And I think Belichick, if anybody can find a way to stop that option.
But the thing is, it's not like it's killing people. They're not.
No, they're not.
They're not Nebraska circa 1995.
No,
I mean, they're not running the triple option for 49
games. I don't think Denver's scoring against Bears defense.
They didn't score against the Jets defense either. They scored that one time. They had a pick 6 and a field goal.
Right.
Why does it take
Tebow had a lot to do with that.
Though, why does it take the offensive coordinator 55 minutes to be so structured, and then they let Tebow free will it, and he goes out there and makes plays?
It is interesting the way their play calling changes late in the 4th quarter.
Well, to be fair, in that Jet game, he
changes.
just played horrible. First 3 quarters.
He does that all the time.
Yeah. What are you doing in the Miami game?
But that's not the offensive coordinator.
What are you doing in the Detroit game?
Yeah, but why can't you just go no huddle all the time? Why not?
Your offensive lineman may need oxygen by about.
Yeah, no kidding. I'll have something to say about that, man.